Okay guys, so quick one for you today. I want to talk about confidence because I think a lot of people get this one wrong. Everyone believes that confidence it's something that you find. Like you work long enough and one day you just get to the state of confidence. Like confidence is something permanent. But it doesn't work like that, guys. Confidence is not the destination. Confidence is more a reflection process. It's not something that you come across when life finally clicks. It's something that you have to constantly work for. And the only way to build confidence is by building evidence. And that evidence at the end of the day will come from one thing is how great you are at keeping your own promises. Because every time you say you're gonna do something and you actually follow through it, you are building self-trust. And here's the thing, every time you skip, every time you break your own promises, every time you negotiate with your mind, you withdraw from it. It works the same as a checking account. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 or 1 million. If you see that account growing, it's gonna build that feeling of excitement. But every time you see the account dropping, you start panicking. Confidence works the same way. It's more about a sequence of action that you have to repeat over an extended period of time. It's more about a feeling, and that feeling, you have to work for it. Every day, at every time, you are working on your confidence. It has nothing to do with what you see. It's nothing to do with external factors. It's more about how much you respect yourself. And the way that you're going to build self-respect is by keeping your own promises. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, just do it. Because even now, I still experience highs and lows. I can still have that feeling that something is missing. I can still have that feeling of dissatisfaction, that feeling that I still can do more, that feeling of not giving my 100%. And even with something that can seem like mundane or very small, that feeling, being of that state of low frequency is exactly what lower my self-esteem. I feel like my self-esteem is low. I feel like my confidence is affected. I give you a basic example, like last week, for example, I just started feeling stressed and anxious because I was procrastinating on one simple task, making a YouTube video. I tell myself for many days that I have to shoot something. Everything was ready, but I kept finding an excuse that, oh, this missing, this is not the right time, I'll do it tomorrow. And every time I was delaying that simple task, it just created so much confusion in my head. I start feeling more resistance in my mind. And my mind at some point was convincing me that I had valid reason to not do it. Everything I was using to justify my inaction became a valid excuse. And you just feel like you have this devil voice in your head that is amplifying, convincing you that you don't need to do more, that you can just settle where you are. The moment you listen to that voice, you cooked, bro. You cooked because that voice will lower your self-esteem, and by lowering your self-esteem, you are tanking your confidence. Because by breaking your own promises, you don't realize it, but you're just teaching your mind subconsciously that your words don't mean anything. Your brain is doubting your own words, and you start doubting your vision. You start doubting your goals. So as a consequence, you start doubting yourself. And the more you doubt yourself, you're just pushing away that goal, you're just pushing away that vision, and you stay in the exact same spot. And by avoiding that process of growth, it's exactly what is affecting your confidence. That's why so many men, like they talk about change, like they have great goals, they have big vision, but they don't do nothing about it. They never take the first step that is going to bring them closer to the goals because in the past, like they built so much evidence against themselves. And guys, like this is what I'm saying. Like it's not a matter of getting somewhere. It's more about integrity, keeping your own word, following through what you're saying. You will never arrive in a state where, oh, now it's okay. Now I've reached confidence. I'm gonna just stay there. You got to maintain it. And actually, like the best part of it is it doesn't matter where you are. The next day you can feel more confidence. You can start building it. You don't have to wait to achieve something big because the process is the same for everyone. All start with your word. You told yourself you're going to do something, you got to act on it. And when you act on it, you are building proof, you are building evidence. And that evidence is what will create trust with your mind, with your brain. But don't even think like it's something linear, that you just have to go from point A to point B, because it's actually a loop. It never ends. You constantly have to work for it. And I feel like this is what most guys are making this mistake, thinking like it's a straight line. It's a straight process. You go from point A to point B. Where in fact, as I said, like it's a loop. You constantly have to work for it. Every day, every time, at every moment, you are building your confidence. You are working on it. Doesn't matter where you are in life. You just got to keep your word and act on it. And most men, again, like, they just stop at step number one. They create these big goals, they create this fantasy. They speak about it very loudly, in fact. But they never make the first step. They just get that first dopamine hit, have that rush of motivation, of excitement, but they just stay exactly where they are because they never follow through. They never building proof. They never stack evidence that they can be trusted. And because of that, they keep delaying their goal, they keep pushing it, so their mind doesn't trust them anymore. And the worst part about it is, once you're giving your mind enough evidence that you cannot be trusted because you're not following through your own word, your brain will start showing you, will only start showing you evidence of why you are not capable of reaching your goals. And because of that feeling of disappointment, of shame, most men, what they do is they cope with alcohol, junk food, drugs, weed, anything to make them feel good. They prefer feeling good like for some hours during the week and miserable for the rest of the time. That's okay for them. They're okay sacrificing their goals for that little moment of comfort. They're okay sacrificing their goals for few hours of distraction, of fake pleasure every week. Guys, truth is like you can feel good for a few hours, but at some point you still have to listen to that inner voice. That inner voice that is there to remind you that what you're capable of and what you should be chasing. Chasing your goals, chasing your vision, chasing your dreams. And not those instant pleasure, that instant satisfaction. Because this is exactly what is killing your dream. You cannot escape that feeling of shame, that feeling of guilt, if you constantly living out of alignment. Alignment is everything, guys. When you have something in your mind and you act on it and you're making it happen, you are living in alignment because your heart, your soul knows it's for your best interest. But you're rejecting that voice, thinking that you can just get rid of it by coping with all of those distractions on weekends, with your friends, with some drugs. I've tried it all, guys. It's always gonna come back. And you got to start taking an honest look at your life. Think about what you really want. Think about your goals. Thinking about your vision. And ask yourself, are you proud of how you're leading yourself? Are you proud of the number of times you told yourself you're going to do something and you actually did it? And if the answer is no, here's your answer. Here's why you don't feel satisfied in life. This is why you're not feeling confident. Because there is no more trust between you and your mind anymore. So your focus has to be on rebuilding that trust with yourself. And this is why I'm heavy on habits, guys. This is why I'm heavy on having daily systems to live by. Because it forces you to follow through. Like every day, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna wake up early, I'm gonna do my push-ups, I'm gonna hydrate, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna hit my steps, my macros, my sleep, I'm gonna reflect before bed, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna read. It's not fancy, it's far from being fancy, but those simple wins that I stack at the end of the day, they compound over time. Something I do one day, after 30 days, after 6 months, and I never miss. But guys, like, this is what it's about. This is why I'm constantly, like most of the time, I have this feeling of feeling confidence because I never break my promises. It can happen that sometimes I delay some things, like the YouTube video I spoke about. At the end of the day, when I reflect on that, I realize that it's just because I didn't act in alignment with my true self. And it's the fact that you are disaligned that makes you feel disappointed with yourself, giving you that feeling of guilt, of shame. But you don't have to operate from those low level frequency every time. You can start very small, just having a set of daily non-negotiable. By the way, like if you want the list of the 10 habits that I follow, I made a video about it last time, and I'm gonna have the link in the description of this video. So just make sure that you click and you go through it. I broke down every habit one by one, and you can actually implement the same process in your life. And I can promise you that if you are consistent with those habits for at least like 30 days, it's gonna completely change yourself. It's gonna completely change your life. My point is, you don't have to stack big wins right now. Just small commitments, daily commitments, little things. Because again, those daily wins will compound over time. Those small actions will create proof. Those small actions will rebuild the trust with your mind, with your brain. It's that trust that is going to build unshakable confidence. Keep in mind, you cannot have confidence if you live out of alignment. So sit with yourself and listen inward. What is that inner voice is telling you? That voice telling you to keep wasting your weekends on alcohol, on drugs, with bad people, bad friends. Or maybe that voice just telling you, bro, like, drop the body fats, drop the alcohol. And you know at some point that you thought about it, but you're neglecting that voice. You made decision to not listen to it, thinking like it's gonna just go away. It's gonna always come back, guys. Like, I promise. Your authentic voice will never lie. If you think about something now, if you promise yourself you're going to do something because it's for your best interest, you just got to follow through, bro. You just have to start acting. Because confidence at the end of the day is just self-trust in motion. So here's my challenge for you. Stop feeling that you need to be ready. Just pick one little promise and act on it now. If you told yourself you're going to wake up early tomorrow, wake up early. Little wins, this is all it takes, guys. Because remember, it's a long-term game, it's a permanent game, it never stops. It's not a destination. Confidence has to be maintained. It's not something that you find at the end of the journey, it's something that you have to keep working on every day. The only way to build confidence, guys, is repetition of integrity. Write down a list of the things that you know you should be doing and just start acting on them. Because right now you might feel lost, you might feel unsure. But guess what? This is actually a good thing because you know deep down there is more to come. There is more to be accomplished. It is actually the beginning for you. Stop chasing hype. Stop chasing motivation. Because all of that, it's not gonna help you. What's going to help you is just be a man of word. Make your mind understand that it can trust you. Do not break your promises anymore. Your words has value. Your words have power. And make sure that when you say something, you actually act on it. Because this is the biggest sign of self-respect. Because a man who's keeping his word will never doubt himself anymore.